rarest Keith Lucas from CKL, and we have the extraordinary privilege of looking after this car. Looking at the bonnet, you would be forgiven for not realising that it was a Jaguar, because there's not even a bonnet badge. But this is the prototype of the E-Type Jaguar, and this is the year of the E-Type here at Goodwood, because it's 60 years this year that the E-Type came on the market. This car was made the year before, and it's got all the technical features of the E-Type, but in a totally different shaped body. The body is all aluminium, handmade, and it was made in just 6 weeks flat, which is hard to believe. That is really going some for a project like this. One of the interesting features at the front is that when it ran at Le Mans, it ran with a short engine which fitted under the bonnet, which was smooth and flat. But later on, after a couple of months, and when it went to race in the States, they put a 3.8 engine in, which is much taller. So they had to cut a hole in it and wheel up a bulge and pop rivet it on. That's your E-Type bonnet bulge, which is, of course, an iconic part of that iconic car. I think that we should put the bonnet up, because that's one of the most distinctive parts. Here you have all the elements of the E-Type as we know it now: an XK-based engine, tubular frames that bolt together, the layout of radiator and header tank. But of course all this is a competition version of it. But this is what gave rise to that very, very successful motor car. Under the back, you've got the independent suspension used by all E-Types, XJ6s, XJSs, all the Jaguar range, all started with this car. And it's a twin wishbone arrangement, where the top wishbone is also the drive shaft, and only the lower wishbone carries the forces that a wishbone carries. Again, if we put the tail up, you can have a look at the riveting. It's altogether more aircraft than it is motor car. And if we walk around, feast your eyes on this amazing dry sump tank with literally hundreds and hundreds of rivets all around it. So very, very special car, absolutely unique, and we really look forward to racing it this weekend.
Well, this is E2A, the only surviving prototype as made by Jaguar. Raced at Le Mans in 1960 and also raced extensively in the United States. It is the only surviving prototype between the Jaguar D-Type and what became the Jaguar E-Type. In many respects, this is the car that Jaguar tried all their bits that they were thinking about putting into the E-Type. I don't know if it was ever Jaguar's intention to race it, but their great customer, Briggs Cunningham, when he saw this car in the competition department at Browns Lane, persuaded Jaguar that he should take it to Le Mans in 1960. And the car did not finish Le Mans. That time it was running a rather fragile 3-litre engine which failed, but the rest of the car was really, really good. Briggs took the car from Jaguar and took it to America, and just about all the greatest drivers of its time drove it. Bruce McLaren drove it, Dan Gurney drove it, and Briggs himself. And then if we look in the cockpit of the car, I sort of akin this car to a little bit like Douglas Bader's 1940, a Hawker Hurricane. It is filled with wonderful instruments and bomber switches. It is like stepping back into time. I mean, the car was kept after Briggs finished with the car went back to Jaguar. It sat with a cover on it in the back of the factory, and it would have been scrapped. E1A was scrapped, but E2A survived until Penny Woodley's father persuaded Bill Lyons and Lofty England to let him have the car, and it is absolutely in time capsule original order. I mean, as I touch the steering wheel, this is the DNA of Bruce McLaren, Dan Gurney, all these great drivers who Briggs Cunningham had on his roster who drove it, and the car is absolutely untouched to this day. It's beautifully cherished by its owner Stefan Ziegler and fabulously looked after by my friends at CKL, and Chris Keith Lucas and his guys are real custodians of the car, and you know, it's my privilege to race it here at Goodwood. And when I say race, you know, I just get in it, relax, and I let the car do what it does. And last time we ran the car a few years ago, it was a wet race, and you know, the car just got better and better, and with its amazing independent rear suspension like an E-Type, it's wonderful 3.8 litre, because it did run with the later 3.8. The design is fantastic, and you know, it's a shame that Jaguar didn't continue with this you know, in a full factory manner, because the car, you know, the actual design of the car is fabulous. But it really, in Jaguar's 60th anniversary year of the E-Type, to see this car here at Goodwood, to get it on the track, to show really what is a lost slice of automotive history, in particular Jaguar's history, is very special, and only Goodwood could bring all this together. So there you have it, and we'll have some fun in it later.